Hello and welcome back to United Talk TV. Norwich 1, Manchester United 2, thanks to Captain Fantastic Harry Maguire, 117th minute match winner to send us through to the semi-finals where we obviously played Chelsea. Thanks to the draw last night. We got Brighton coming up tomorrow, big 3 points in terms of the top 4 race, with especially now that Wolves won on the weekend. And big news coming through the press conferences. Obviously, Gomez is set to leave tomorrow, according to OGS. Brad, thoughts on the press conference and the breaking news that we've heard this morning?
Yeah, I've heard about the news in that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the press conference in that. Haven't really touched base on it. Had a busy morning. But yeah, I think it was kind of in Gomez's hands. I didn't want to put pen to paper. There must be a reasoning from him behind that, why he hasn't done that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a big loss to Man United. Of course, it's a loss, but not a massive loss. But yeah, in the end, I think it was in his hands, but he didn't want to put pen to paper.
Yeah, I think the deal was set. Obviously, he's probably hasn't agreed to the terms. He probably maybe wants a higher wage or something. And I think also possibly that the lack of opportunities in game time he's received this season, especially in terms of Carabao Cup fixtures against second league sides and the Europa League against Astana and Belgrade, teams that where you opportunities to rest first team players and introduce the likes of Garner, Chong, Gomez, especially Gomez into fixtures like these. He didn't receive those opportunities, and I think
I'm with you
100%. I think that's mainly the reason he's leaving. I think he can see he
wants more first team time, and
there's somewhere else where he will be given that. And I don't think for whatever reason Ollie hasn't given it to him, especially during the games like I've just mentioned. It is worrying to me. That is a big concern to me, honestly. When we're playing those games, we said, "Where's Garner? Where's the Chong? Why aren't they starting?" That's an opportunity, But you still played. I think he played Pogba against Rochdale when he was, and then he got injured, and we missed him for how long? Is it really necessary?
Yeah, exactly.
Is Gomez down? Is it down to that, or does he just want to leave? Personally, I think it's down to what I've just mentioned above.
All right. Yeah, no, for sure. I get you.
But anyway,
but like I say, I think it was his decision. We offered him a contract, and he just didn't put pen to paper. So of course. But I'm with you 100%, sure.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Quick. On the Chelsea draw at semi-final. Just your thoughts quickly on that.
Got to take it how it comes, Jay. Beaten them 3 times this season. So let's make it 4. Huh?
Definitely, you got to beat what's in front of you.
Exactly.
Whether it was Arsenal or Manchester City, we'd have to play them. One of them eventually.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you got to beat everyone to win the. So it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's get into the game against Norwich. Obviously, I think for me it's Lingard, Matza, Dalot, done. That's it. Done.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was just going to say, it's showing us this deadwood. Like, geez, there's quite a bit of deadwood there. And, just get rid of them. I don't ever want to see that lineup again. I want to see them on the pitch. I'll give you your keys and you can leave character. Get out.
Yeah. No, 2 things out of that, actually. One, I've heard lots of mixed bags. One people, like some fans on the side that Ollie shouldn't have made so many changes. And some are on the thing that he was right to make the changes. It's just that the players aren't good enough.
Yeah, for sure. I'm on that side, Jay, because rotation is key. Like I mentioned in the last video, rotation is very keen, and you don't want to see players, your first team players playing so much football in games where our second team should play and comfortably win as well. I think it's not a team Norwich. We shouldn't have struggled like that against Norwich, but. Yeah, I think it's just showing us the deadwood, and unfortunately, I think we're going to see a lot more first-team players. They're going to be overused now after that result. But yeah,
exactly. No, 100% agree.
It's what it is.
No, I'm 100% agree. I'm on that side as well. I honestly think those changes were necessary. I mean, we even said it in our preview. I think we even said that he should make 11 changes.
Yeah, exactly. I think he made 8 changes, but me and you both said that we were going for 11 changes. So
yeah, I thought he was. And he nearly did. He made 8
rotations vital. Yeah, exactly. Rotation is very, very keen, and
he only kept Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, and who else did he keep? Harry Maguire. Okay, but I think we both agreed on the Harry Maguire thing.
Harry Maguire thing, yes.
So we only got the 2 changes wrong. We thought Shaw would have dropped out and Bruno would have dropped
For
out.
Williams, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, we were on the same thinking path as Ollie there, and I think and he's entitled to it. I think he's absolutely right. I just think the players, as we mentioned, Dallo, done. Mata, done. Lingard, done,
Done. Yeah, for sure. Pack their bags, I reckon that's history,
Yeah.
I think Lingard had 2 early shots and that was it. And then, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we will get into the player ratings, of course, and we'll touch into that. But I think, well, let's just get into it now. I mean, Romero, okay, lots of people are saying he's at fault for the goal. And I think you're one of them.
I am one of them. I think he could have done better, but it was a fantastic shot from Todd. But definitely think Romero could have done better. Yes, he's can't really say he's out of form, but he's out of game time and he hasn't really been in the goals and that. But I don't know, keeper's always going to get some stick, but I definitely think he could have got a bit more behind us.
I think I would have liked to see. I was meaning to watch the goal again, especially their goal. I just wanted to see how, because I mean, lots of people have been talking about it. When I first thought, oh geez, good shot, and then I saw the replay, and then I thought, I still thought, okay, maybe you could have done better. I mean, maybe he could have, but I mean, don't take anything away from Todd Cantwell. The boy is good. No,
he is a talent.
And it's a good shot. It's a good shot.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, fantastic strike from Todd. But I personally think Romero could have done a bit more.
Fair enough, and I won't disagree with that. What do you give him out of 10?
I'll give him a 5.
A 5. I think a 5 is fair enough for me because I mean he commanded the box well. He took that. We had to do like a diving clearance with his like a punch.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's because that could have been
fantastic.
Easily a goal. If he didn't command the box there. Yeah. So I think,
for sure.
I think he commands the box well. He takes so I think 5 for me is fair enough. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. Then we go over to one of our Deadwood players who wishes he was another Spider-Man. Flip him out. I'll give him a 3. He's lucky to get a 3. He's lucky.
I think a 3 is fair enough. I mean, that was the worst partnership. I mean, I think the only question I have about Ole is Mata, putting him in that Greenwood position from the last game against Sheffield. What on earth is Mata doing on the right wing?
Yeah, for sure. And he's slow and
And maybe that did lead to Dallo being exposed because all their chances came from that left-hand side, our right-hand side, their left-hand side. I mean, Diego Dallo was out of position, going forward he wasn't great either. Defensively he was absolutely poor. And it didn't help him that
he's no Spider-Man.
And it didn't help him that he had Mata with him on that wing, So
exactly.
So I think that's my only thing I have to say to Ollie that he did poorly was playing Mata there. I think Mata should be in that cam role, and that's perfect. He can pick the passes, but don't put him on the wing. I think that's absolutely shocking. I don't even know what the hell he was thinking there.
Yeah, Bali.
Yeah, but a 3 for me, I think, Dallo, 3.
Yeah, for sure, 3. Solid 3 for me. Move over to Bali.
Bali, you go for it.
Some good stuff, some weird stuff, some not so great stuff, but I enjoyed Bali. Like I said, I saw some weird stuff from him. I'm gonna give him a 6, Jay.
6. I mean the one he looked good on the ball. It's fine. He looked a bit composed. I think that's fine. The one thing, as you said, the weird stuff. I think you're referring to that when Todd Cantwell tried to poach the ball off him, and that led to one of their chances. And then he did a funny dive.
That's it.
When he got touched, he did
some weird stuff,
belly flop dive. Bailey, I think that's why Ollie goes for Lindelof, because Lindelof probably is a bit more cool, doesn't do all these fancy things and all that. I think that's the reason why. But I think I still like Bailey because.
For sure.
He's exciting.
He's hard.
I like him. I still like Bailey. And I
still read. Still got a chance, I reckon.
A 5 for me, though. A 5 for me for Bailey.
Some weird stuff,
And then Harry Maguire.
Captain Fantastic. He's going to be one of my highs this week. Thought he was composed, did well, finished well. I'm going to give him a 7, Joe. 7.
I'm giving him an 8, and he's my man of the match. He's my man of the match.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, he's my man this week as well. So I'm going to give him touch base was a 7.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I give him an 8. I think he not only did he score the winning goal, he was in the box set. When we're throwing caution to the wind at the end, he was he was in there with Igalo, you know, in in the
Yeah,
box, you know, 2 or 3 times he could have he nearly won it with a header earlier,
yeah,
but was a good save.
exactly. Great save, great
He
save.
took his chances that the ball just bounced to him and he took it and he scored, you know, because he was in there and he wanted the goal, you know, he wanted to win the
Yes,
game for us. And not only that, I think defensively he put in a fantastic block.
fantastic performance. Yeah, for sure.
He put in a great block there that came off. I don't see any of the other defenders doing that, you know. He put in a block
I'm
that
with you.
Romero didn't even need to touch it because he put in a block. He put in all his heart into that game. For me, 8, and that's the leader we need. That is what we need, you know. We need
That is the captain. That's
we
it.
need a centre back who goes in there, you know, when we're pushing for the win. We're pushing for the win. He takes his chances. He forgets about his
Yes,
defending. He puts himself in the box there. I think Maguire 8 for me.
100%.
Luke Shaw, I thought he had a good game.
I thought he had a fantastic game as well. I did read some critics after the game. I didn't quite get what they were going at, but I thought Luke Shaw had a great game as well. But obviously, I would have liked to see Williams. I thought Shaw deserved the rest. But I mean, didn't put anything to shame. Fantastic performance from Shaw as well. So I'm gonna match him. I'm gonna match him with Harry, and I'm gonna give him a 7.
I think a 7 for me as well. As I said, I give Maguire an 8 because obviously he's my man of the match, but a 7 for me
For sure.
Shaw. I think defensively he did well. Even going forward, you know, I thought he did well. He even put in the cross.
Fantastic.
I think he put in the cross
Some
for that
great.
Igalo goal. You know, that's
The goal. Yeah.
So he put the
Cheeky finish, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
Fantastic.
So 7 for me, fair enough. Then Fred.
I don't know. I can't really fault him much. Back to the old Fred. Nothing fantastic. Yeah, he didn't do terrible, but obviously another great performance. Not like shining. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, I give Fred a 5. I'm sorry. Yeah. Fred, to me, I saw a lot of the old Fred. You know what?
You praised him. You've praised him too much. You've praised him too much.
He played Scott and Fred in the holding roles, and I don't think they get in each other's way. I don't think either of them was suited for that role. They were both sitting there. One of them had to sit there, and the one had to go forward. And they both sat there. And I think that's why we were so passing sideways, backwards, sideways, and it looked so like, you know, it was boring. It was slow. The tempo was slow. And I think it was because of those two sitting there. One of them had to go forward, and one of them had to sit, and they both sat. And that's why they said they got in each other's way. And I think that's why Matic is key, is because Matic can sit there and he allows everyone else, whether it's Pogba and Bruno, to go forward, and whether it's Pogba and Scott, they can go forward. Whether it's Pogba and Fred, they can go forward. Whether it's Bruno, whoever it is, they can go forward, and Matic allows that. So
yeah, for sure.
And you know, Fred
Scott.
Yeah, so Fred 5. We're not going to get too much. Scott McTominay. Same.
Like you say, stuck at the back. Yeah.
Same for me as Fred. Both didn't have good games for me. But you know what? I still like them. You know, and I still see this.
Yeah, for sure.
I still see there's a future with them, except like Lingard and Mata and Dallo. There's no future for me there. But with Fred and Scott, there is a future, and yeah, so 5 for me as well.
For Scott as well. Cool. I'll match you with Scott. So Bruno, Jay.
Bruno, interesting.
I definitely think it's his worst performance in the Man United shirt, but we saw some interesting stats from him. Yes. I don't think he should have started. I mean, now you're seeing, I was looking at a stat before the score that Bruno's played 291 minutes. No rest. I mean, he played 120 odd minutes. Yeah, I don't think it was necessary. He was flat. He was dead. He was finished.
You know, 120 minutes was too excessive. It was not necessary at all. But you know what I did see from Bruno? Yes, he lost the ball. Yes, he made bad passes. Yes, his shooting was terrible. Yes, yes, he had his worst game. We can all accept that, you know. But what I did see, when we were like 116, 117 minutes into the game, he was the only one tracking back onto our own baseline to win the ball back, sprinting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He was the only one, and he played the longest out of everyone in that game.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was still sprinting. That work ethic, that tenacity, that desire to win is still there. And you know what? he made a bad pass, but you know what? He kept going. He still played those risky balls. You know what? To try and do something, and we haven't had that in for a long time. So
Long time.
for me, Bruno had his worst game. Yes, I accept that, but you know what? He's still key. He's still a pivot for our side.
No, for sure.
For me, I'll give him a 6. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I'll give him a 6.
But you know what? I love Bruno, and it's not just because I love him.
Of course.
It's there. He still made the most pass. I think I don't know all the stats. I didn't read them all. I'm not gonna. It's not like I know them, but what I saw from him, I just saw work ethic, and I saw someone who wants to try something, someone who wants to do it. So for me, I'm happy with Bruno. Lingard.
Oh, jeez. Deadwood, he's going to be very low for me. Himself and Matt is shocking. He's going to join Dalot. They're going to all get 3s from me. Very poor. Very poor.
I'm not going to even argue against that. Matt, we can just do Lingard and Matt at the same time, both 3s.
Yeah, for sure.
And
by 3s, they're matching with Dalot.
Yeah, I think Lingard is a player out of confidence. He is lost. He's done. He's just done.
Yeah, it's history. Yeah, like we've touched base on like one of our previous episodes. I know his mom was quite ill and all of that, but either take a break. We've spoken about that. I'm not going to really fall back into it, but he's dead, unfortunately.
Anymore. I don't even think that's a fact.
Yeah,
anymore.
For sure.
That's not even a fact.
So I think he's just out of confidence.
No.
He's just lost it. I don't know. He needs to. I don't know what he has to do, but he either has to drop a division or he has to get some confidence again.
Yeah, but anyway, Lingard's.
But
as I said,
I think we should ship him off as well. Matt's done, dusted.
But he was played out, for me, as I said, he was played out of position.
So
do I blame him so much? No. Do I still see him as a role? Yes, in terms of not starting, but coming on as a sub if we need someone to create something, but do not put him on the wing. And I don't know. I think Van Gaal did it, Mourinho's done it, and now Ole's done it. I do not know why these managers put him on the wing. It's
for sure.
Flabbergasted, honestly. But anyway, Igalo.
Yeah. I can't really fault Igalo at all. He was there in the attacking positions all the time. Great finish and could have been a save, but he got his goal. I'll give him a 6. Harry Maguire, my man of the match with a 7. So Igalo, high 6, but touching 7. Can't really fault him.
I give him a 7. I think Igalo, he took his goal well when he got his chance.
Yeah,
he didn't receive much service, especially with
exactly.
when Lingard and Mata were on the field. He didn't receive much, Then he took his goal well. His hold-up play was fantastic. I think when he got the ball, he held it up well, like a proper old-school fashion number 9. I think Igalo had a fantastic game. And whenever he started, he scored for us.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, I'm very pleased with Igalo. I'm happy. And as I said, I think I've said I'm not happy that we've signed him until January. I think till the end of the season would have been enough, and then we bring in a new striker. But we've got him. It is what it is, and hopefully he proves me wrong, especially, and just continues to build. I mean, I do like him. I think he is good. Can he step up these levels? Looks like he can. Keep going, Igalo. 7 for me.
That's it, Odion. Yeah.
Okay, now with the subs, because the subs did play quite a while.
So many. Yeah. They did play a role though.
I think let's start off with Rashford.
Rashford, he came on for
Lingard or someone. Yeah.
Lingard and Mata. He came on for one of them. Mata. Rashford. Yes, I don't think I would have liked to see him come on, but can't really fault him. I'm gonna give him a 5. So.
Yeah, I think I'll give him a 6. I mean, you know what I did see between Lingard and Rashford, the difference was Rashford was direct. He took on defenders. He didn't, when he got the ball, he went forward. He didn't go backwards or sideways. He kept running. He won a few corners. So Rashford 6 for me.
Mason.
Yeah, Mason. Mason 5 for me. I thought I could. I wish I expected more from Mason.
I expected more,
and I didn't see that from him. 5 for me for Mason. But it's still a young, bright kid. Future's all is ahead of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Williams. I think we saw something different. I think Williams came on in the 63rd minute. I think, and he was put on the right.
And you know why? Because I think Ole knows how useless Dallo was.
Dallo
Ole,
was.
Ole even knew how useless Dallo was, and he put him on the right.
Yeah, and that was quite an early sub for Oli as well, but
Exactly.
it had to be done that Dalot was being ended in.
You would have expected Williams to come on for Shaw and give Shaw a rest.
Sure.
But you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Ole realized how useless Dallo was and how badly he was playing. He like, I have to leave Shaw and I'm gonna have to bring Williams on at right back. And for me,
yeah, for sure,
Williams, I give him a 6, but for me, oh wow, I'm still impressed with that kid. Wow. I mean,
yeah,
I still like
just the talent.
Oh, Williams, love it.
That's it.
He was
Pogba.
Yeah, Pogba as always, influential. That's the key word for Pogba.
Yeah, that's him.
Pogba, he's fast, he's strong, he just drives the ball forward. With him and Bruno, the future's bright if Pogba signs a long-term contract or whatever it is, And I think, Bruno's going to probably be key to keeping Pogba here long-term.
For sure, I'm with you with that.
So yeah, Pogba.
I've seen the change under Pogba. I've seen a complete change, since Bruno's on the field. I'm seeing the old Pogba, the talent, not so lackadaisy, sitting back and doesn't look like he wants to be on the pitch. He's bringing even more now with himself. Like him and that Bruno partnership is fantastic.
Yeah, no, I mean even Pogba was key for our match winner because he played a ball over, it went to Igalo or Martial, one of the two, and then it set up for Maguire, and Pogba played that little ball over the top, and I don't think you would have ever seen that from Lingard.
No, all matter, no.
No, not at all.
No.
So 6 for me. 6 for me.
6 for me as well. I'm matching. Martial.
Yeah, Martial didn't do much far for me because he was only on for like 10 minutes or something.
10 minutes, yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna just give him a match with a 5.
And then Matic was the last sub.
Matic, yeah, I feel like lockdown in the UK and all of that's really did Matic well. He's come back to what I like to see and what I saw at Chelsea. Just like we're speaking, the Matic who sits back and holds, and that's fantastic. I really enjoyed Matic. He didn't really get much to do much, but yeah, I'm gonna match him with a 6.
I give him, I can see 5 or 6 is fair enough. Because he didn't do much either, but and plus they got the red card. Oh, that's also another key thing. Bruno Fernandes was influential in getting that red card.
Red card for sure.
He flicked it onto Igalo, with a clever little neat flick, So Bruno is that guy who takes those chances. So whether he still had his worst game, you know what? He's still influential. He's still a pivot for the side.
No, for sure, Joe.
And then last but not least, Ollie, his rating for the match.
Jay, he's going to get a lot of criticism, I feel, because of obviously he made 8 changes, and but I think the 8 changes had to be done also to see what those boys could do. But so of course he's not going to get a high rating, and also with the likes of his subs and that. But like I said, he saw that he had to take that lot off, and I'm going to give Ole a 5, but it's not a terrible 5. It's something we had to see.
Interesting. I give Ole a 7. Honestly, I don't think he did anything wrong besides my playing Mata in that position. I think his subs were fantastic. He realised Dallo was useless, brought on Williams. He knew to bring on Rashford. And you know what? Of course, he took off Bailey for Martial. He took off a centre-back for a centre-forward. To get that match winner. He should be doing that regardless. That's an obvious substitution. But, maybe Ole a couple months ago wouldn't have done that,
Exactly.
So
I'm with you.
So 7 for me. Fair enough. We threw, so that's the main thing.
Exactly.
Let's look forward to tomorrow night's game. Big game. I honestly think it's a big game.
Yeah, especially with Wolves winning and that. But I do think it's a game we should put to bed. Not even could. We should put it to bed. Hopefully, don't see us struggling. I think we'll see a strong side again. Because obviously you want to see top 4 and that. But I can tell you, I don't think I'll see a Bruno.
Well, I think I heard in the press conference this morning, I could be wrong, I forgot to look up the stat before we came on air here. And our last 2 visits to Brighton, we haven't won. I think that's what I heard. I think it could be right, but regardless of that, it's still. I think it's going to be a tough fixture. I mean, they already drew to Leicester, and they beat
Yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah.
That's their first 2 games back. They beat Arsenal and they drew to Leicester.
But the first one's not like really hard. The second one, I'll give them it's a draw.
No, that's true. Arsenal are useless. But this is not an Arsenal TV show. This is a United TV show. I mean,
Yeah.
Arsenal.
But yeah, like I say, Jay, it's not. It's a game that we should win on paper, but you never know who rocks up from Brighton and who rocks up from Man United. So I definitely think we'll see a first team, like a strong team start, but I do see a few changes like Bruno and but we'll get into that.
Interesting. We'll get into that. Your predicted 11, what you think you'll go with. I think Brighton are a good team. I think they might be hovering around towards the bottom, but I still think they play decent football. I still think they're well organised at the back with their centre halves. They got a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, for sure.
They've got some players. They got Maupay. I mean, I like Maupay. I mean,
Maupay, is quality. And they got Moy, I think, as well. What's his name? It is Moy.
Yeah. I think that
decent.
Pascal Gross. Haven't seen much of him.
Pascal Gross
since the lockdown. But you know what? They still got quality. They play good football. I think Brighton can give us a tough game, but I do see us winning.
Yeah, for sure.
I do see us winning.
Score predictions, Jay.
I see us winning.
Come on, you need to get one right on your show. I haven't seen you get a prediction right for a while. Just tucking it in there.
I've come close. It's a tough one. 1-0. I'm gonna go 1-0.
Oh, you're reading my mind. I was gonna go 1-0 as well, but I'm not gonna match you. I'm gonna go 2-1. We're gonna leak a goal.
Yeah, no. I think it's gonna be a close game. But 3 points, nothing but 3 points. Honestly, Wolves won.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's Everton, Leicester also the next day, and then it's West Ham, Chelsea. Also.
Yeah.
So
West Ham have to do us a favor, please.
West Ham, they can do it. I mean, they can do it, and then Everton, Leicester. That's also,
Yeah, for sure. So, I'll take a draw there, though.
Yeah. So I mean, we have to. It's just 3 points. We have to win. We have to win it.
Yeah.
I think. In terms of what we're going to see from Ole in terms of tactics and lineup, I think De Gea, first and foremost, will come back into the team. I think we all
back in, yeah, for sure. Spider-Man will be back in, and Lindelof, Harry, Shaw.
Yeah,
or maybe even a Brandon Williams, depending on how choice. But so that could be one of my changes, but it's not like I'm 80% sure Shaw will start.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna go Matic.
Matic, 100%.
I'm gonna go Scott, Pogba. I don't see a Bruno start. I think he's played.
I'm gonna swap. I hear you, but I'm gonna go. I think Bruno and Pogba will start. I think they will.
Okay. Yeah, but I'd hope they start. But I'm just saying, out of like what I've seen, and I think Bruno played 291 minutes now without being subbed or So
I hear you.
He is fit. He is a athlete, but I don't know if he will start.
I think.
But if he does, I'll just. Yeah, I hope he starts. But
I hear you.
Just saying my predicted 11. So what I went Scott, Matic, and then I went Pogba. I'm gonna go. James won't start. I'm gonna go Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood. When I get a Greenwood start,
I'm gonna go James instead of Greenwood there. I just think that's how you will set up. And where was James? Where was he? He wasn't injured. He wasn't even on the bench. Where was he in the last game?
Yeah.
Interesting. No one's brought that up or anything. I mean.
Yeah.
Interesting to think about that. But I think
and he could have started that, but
he could have.
Right.
I think we even said in our previous show that he will start.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of
I didn't even make the match there.
Yeah, because I mean that's where he's better than Mata over there. Of course, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the story is there. I think that's a fairly starting lineup. I think that's a fair observation. As I said, I think he will start Bruno and James instead of Greenwood and McTominay as you suggested. But anyway, we've both gone for a close game. It's 3 points that we both we need as a football club. Top 4 race. I mean, obviously it's still open.
Yeah, it's open, but it's I think it's still there because Leicester hasn't had the best chance, but the best starts after lockdown. Yeah. But yeah, we need to. We've seen a hot Chelsea. Say we've seen a good Man United. So I definitely see top four is still possible.
Yeah, I mean, Wolves, Chelsea, and Leicester probably got. They have to play still amongst each other. You know, I think Sheffield. Yeah. I think Arsenal also have to play them. I think Leicester have to play Spurs as well. You know, I mean, so you know, there's still lots of fixtures to be played amongst each other in that top four race. You know. So
yeah, exactly. No, like I said, it's still there. I don't know if we're going to see a Man City ban. So you don't want to sit at fifth and just hope, you know. And so obviously, I'd love to see a top four finish, and then obviously, whether we win Europa or not, we're still in Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, we want to win as many all the competitions we're involved in. Obviously, now top four is essential, along with an FA Cup and a Europa League trophy to go along with it. You know. And then I think that'll be a fairly decent season.
Yeah, for sure. Fairly decent. We'll take it.
But the most important thing is to bridge that gap between Liverpool because they've obviously the champions, and that it hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
It hurts.
No, exactly. I don't think we're going to stop hearing about it for the next 30 years, but it's happened now. We've had to face it. I said it was one of my biggest fears came true, so unfortunately we have to face it.
And to bridge that gap, Braddles, let's just touch on that quickly whilst we still got time. What do you think is needed to bridge that gap between us, Liverpool, and City? Because you've already seen Chelsea bring in Werner, that guy from Ajax, Hamak or Zamak, yes, I forget his name. I know his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
I think we're there. We just have to. If we can get Sancho, I think we'll be contesting. I think we will be there for a top three again, and if not league winners, I don't want to see us wait forever. I want 2-3 years. I want another title, Premier League title, and our name. So if we can get Sancho in, I think we'll be very close to.
For me,
and offload the deadwood. Get rid of it. Bring some new youngsters in to have a solid B team. And, then that you're still confident with your B team going in against games against Norwich in the FA Cup. And, you don't want your first team playing week in, week out when there should be wins for your B team as well.
I agree. Sancho has to be done. Has to be done.
No questions are asked.
And I'm tired of hearing excuses from the board and Ed Woodward saying, it's tough. You know what? Everyone's going through a tough time. But guess what? I think Juventus have just paid 72 million for Artur from Barcelona. Chelsea are doing business. They're getting the deals done
exactly.
now. So, I mean, we've all been hit from it. But you know what? I want to see the deals done. I don't want to see any excuses. So, Sancho for me.
Yeah, and then
Grealish.
And offload that Ed Wood.
Offload Lingard, bringing Grealish for me. I think Grealish, I like the way he plays.
I love him too, but I don't know if he'll be happy being a squad rotation player or a second team player. He's getting a lot of first. He starts every game at the club he is, so I don't know if he's going to move out. He's obviously going to move out if Aston Villa get relegated, and he'll go to another Premier League team where he's going to start and that.
But you know what?
But yeah, I'd love to see him as a squad rotation player. If you get Man United on your CV, I think most players should jump. But yeah, I'd love to see a Grealish and a Sancho. Wow.
Of course, Grealish won't make that starts in midfield if you got
Matic, of course not.
Pogba, and Bruno in it. But what if Pogba doesn't renew his contract? What if there are injuries?
Injuries. No, for sure. Then you've got another star player coming. I mean, Grealish is fantastic.
Exactly.
Don't put him.
And I'd rather have Grealish.
But yeah,
than
you've always got to take those into consideration. You're going to get injuries in the season. You're going to, So I would love. I don't know if we're going to get Grealish, but yeah, fantastic with Grealish.
So for me, it's Sancho, Grealish. I like that right back from Brighton. We might see him tomorrow night if he starts. Watch out for him. Trust me, that right back from Brighton. Young guy, 19 years old. I don't know what his name is. But anyway, he's 19 years old. Oh my word. I'll find his name and I'll tell you later. But him,
right.
If we can get him instead of ship out Dallo. Get rid of Dallo and bring him in with one.
Get rid of all the Deadwood.
Oof, my word. And then you've got Williams and Shaw on the other side.
And then you got our centre backs are fine. I think we got some talent also in the youth coming up from centre backs. You got Axel, we still got Bali, we've got Lindelof and Maguire, so I don't think we need a signing there.
And
Twanzebe, like I said, Axel. But bring in Grealish. Don't be shy to shout out for Maddison either. You can sign him if you want.
I prefer Grealish.
And Sancho.
Honestly. For me, I prefer Grealish
for sure.
Maddison.
Because you've got to start Madders anyway. He's also full deep, but I'll take Grealish.
Okay, so I think and
I'll take Todd as well.
For me, I like Todd, but Todd can stay at Norwich or move to
he's a mini Griezmann.
But I like him, but
sure.
I just don't think he has the qualities to be a Manchester United star player.
For sure, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, and then that has to be done. I think we saw it when we signed Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and James. Those are 3 good signings, and I think if we can bring in another 2 or 3 signings now for the next season, it will help us bridge that gap closer. Will we win it? Maybe not, but will we be more of a formidable threat? Will we be more consistent?
Exactly. You want to be that threat. You don't want to be. Man United, to me, the last 2 seasons has been a team that any team can go to and get points. You can be Brighton, you can be Norwich. They've managed to beat us. So I would like to be a threat. Exactly. Like I said, this season, last season, we want to be that threat again. It's Man United. We can't really budge on a point or 3 points there. So where I think some teams are budging are a point or 3 points at Man United, where we don't want that.
We've lost to too many lower half teams: Crystal Palace, West Ham, Bournemouth, Burnley. Who else? Watford. We've lost to way too many bottom league team clubs, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
We've beaten Spurs, we've beaten City, we drew to Liverpool. We lost to them, but you know what? We gave them a good run for their money as well.
For sure.
We've beaten. Who else have we beat? We've beaten Leicester already once this season. We've beaten Chelsea twice. In the league. So there's no.
Beat Spurs this season, drew to Spurs. Beaten City twice.
Exactly. There's no.
So it's definitely. I think we're on our way up. Just get those signings.
It's beating those bottom league teams, and that's when comes in having impact plays instead of Lingard. Instead of having Dallo, these type of players coming off the bench, I'd rather have a Grealish coming off that bench, Yeah. You know what?
I'm with you, Joe.
But anyway, that's it for today. I think we've covered everything. We're looking forward to the game tomorrow, Brad.
Yeah, for sure. Like Perfect. I said, hopefully 2-0, 2-1. Just the one I'm happy. It doesn't even have to be my score. Just get the 3 points, get it done, and let's move on.
Perfect. I think 100%. Thanks, Braddles. Everyone, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let us know your comments on anything we've discussed, anything you want to discuss. We're more than happy to engage. We're more than happy to bring anyone on, discuss everything. You know what? Just let us know. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And 3 points of until tomorrow. All right.